uniforms for schools.
For police,
School children, the
Navy.
police uniforms, army, LASMA, there's so many other things.
Yeah.
But they didn't do all that. They were just
Doing Ankara and printing.
So when Ankara, Chinese took over Ankara, and of course mismanagement, Nigerians would bring their brother, sister, cousin to work in the company.
Yeah.
The brother too will feel
It's my uncle's company.
So I can embezzle as I like. They won't put proper structure in place. Also, most owners were not hands-on. So most people feel, oh, I'll just pay for someone to run it. You can't do that in Nigeria. You have to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to be there. You have to know about
every aspect of what's happening in
you
business.
You have to have technical knowledge. So even for my section, which is sewing, a lot of people who also are struggling is because they don't know about it. They didn't study it. Nor did they hire those who actually studied that or have the passion for that.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot of the quality. I don't know if you've heard about the Selfridges thing.
Yes.
I went and it was so disappointing.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, even when they come to Paris for showroom, like Nigerian brands, and you're going through like the inside, the finishing is terrible. Nobody's paying attention to like the technical know-how of how you're constructing your garments.
So the thing is, those who are in charge of selecting who's even going to Paris, that person is not technical. I can hire a very good tailor, and maybe I sew for Mrs. Who's who.
Yeah.
I'm not mention the name, and I become very popular. Doesn't mean I meet the international standards. That might be even well made, but let's do 30, 50, 100.
Doesn't translate.
They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's the issue. There's no school in Nigeria that's training proper fashion designing and the other aspects of the value chain. So like you said, who's the pattern maker? The guy that just went down the road.
There's no pattern maker. It's free cutting.
Is what majority of them do. So we teach pattern making. So
okay.
we teach pattern making, proper one, both manual pattern making or computer aided.
Do you mind just talking me through the different arms of OSC?
OSC is it's a group where we have different companies. So there's OSC Garments, that's where you are, one-stop celebration. It's a separate company, registered as a separate company.
Okay.
And it does production. So it offers contract manufacturing to anyone who wants to outsource their production. So either a company, a designer, a hotel, the government, whoever, anyone. Instead of going to China, you come to us.
Or Turkey.
Or Turkey, exactly, or Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So we do the proper things. So we have pattern makers, we have cutters, everything is properly sectioned out, just as you would have in India or China. So a lot of our faculties studied abroad. So I studied in China, India, Egypt, anywhere they do proper manufacturing, I've gone there to study.
Nice.
So before coming to set up this, Mr. Timmy, our manager, has a second degree in fashion.
Nice.
And he studied in South Africa.
Okay.
So we're all professionals in the different sections. You see me, Mr. Parsa. Parsa is Indian. He is the technical manager, so repairing of machines, knowing the type of stitches that should be on each garment, kind of finishing that the client wants. We work with the tech pack. So if you send us a tech pack, we know how to interpret it. If you need us to develop a tech pack for you, we can do that. Then we have OSC College of Fashion. That's the school. That's where we train people in the different departments I just mentioned. So we train those who could become pattern makers, SMOs, sewing machine operators, that's what SMO means. Those who do the quality control, those who are the production managers, line managers, the supervisors, those who press and fold and package, those who are in charge of all the logistics and how it goes out. So we teach right from material sourcing to costing to how much it should be sold for. Everything we teach at that school. So when we train, we now post them out to other companies to employ them. Because our goal is to improve the standard of the fashion industry. We can't just be the one high king here.
Exactly.
The more people can do the real standard thing, the better for us.
Yes.
We train those with disabilities.
Okay.
Once you have your eyes, your hands, your eyes, we can train and employ you.
Yeah.
Then we have the NGO. We also have an NGO. It's called OSC Research and Creative Foundation. So the majority of the trainings is vehicled through the NGO. So the NGO supports young girls, young boys, those with disabilities, those who need empowerment training, to be taught how to contribute to the economy. Our goal is to
circulate
reduce
the fashion economy.
Yes, exactly. To reduce unemployment, and then we're very big on sustainability. So we don't throw away anything. We even teach the students right in our curriculum. And of course, even ethics. We're very big on morals. I'm a Christian. I always do that. You're contributing, not just asking him every day, give me. You're also in your own little way. Contributing to the society. So if we all can do that, Nigeria will be better. We don't all have to wait for government to be the one to. If, for example, the government will not open this. In fact, government has no business in business. It should be people who will do it, and then government should just create the enabling environment.
How do you think we can change the mindset? Because a lot of people say, everything is running down because of the government, but I feel like it's because of the people.
It's because of the people.
So
like
how
you heard me say, it's not the government. The government's a person.
How do you feel like we can improve the mindset of people to basically keep that value chain going?
So each person, the player, the stakeholders have to see it upon themselves to create awareness. So for me, I saw beyond just let me make money to my account. I saw that it's a duty, it's a mission for me. It's trying to change the narrative, and it starts from you and I. Each person, just start with your own area of influence, and it will spread. Just before you wrote to me last week, the UK group came to Nigeria, Boho, French Connection, House of Fraser. They were here, I had meetings with them, and I showed them, they were shocked. That you mean you could produce this in Nigeria, so why am I producing in China?
I'm pretty sure our cost of production is way less.
Oh yes, it is
even
way less. And the shipping and everything.
Everything, imagine. I feel like we do make a lot of made to order, especially a certain generation, but I feel like my generation and the ones after are rapidly buying from Shein and all of them. I was once on someone's YouTube comments and I was like, she spent like $190 on a Shein collection, and I commented that you could get so much better quality for the same price if you just kind of directed your energy into looking for the Nigerian brands that have pieces that you want. And she's like, no, they're so expensive and Nigerian brands don't make basics.
It's true, so that's why we picked
basics. But also if you really look, like for instance, I mean luckily I found you on LinkedIn, but if you're looking for something you will find it. So true. If you are, I'm pretty sure you're not the only Nigerian brand that makes basics, so if you're really looking for something you'll find it. But I think it's just the accessibility of like clicking order on Shein or it's all those other
easy. So that's what I'm doing. So yesterday I had a meeting with a group where I was showing them Shein. I showed them Shein's site. I showed them several sites. I said, this is the goal. I want to be the person that you could just click and you order this. Maybe your auntie gave back something.
Like an M&S, quick.
It's actually a client of ours. He used to do his production abroad and then found us, just like how you found us, and said, come, I want to bring my production to Nigeria. Yeah,
because I have a lot of brands on my roster, and that's usually, once we're done with because I don't do production, once we're done with the earlier stages of like collection planning or even just consulting them on how to start their brand, the next thing is obviously, where do I produce?
Yes.
And a lot of them, instantly they're going to China, they're going to Turkey, and usually my first go-to is for them to develop something in-house and find someone who can manage tailors. That's usually my first go-to. Invest in 1 or 2 machines and find someone who, especially if they're not doing bulk production, because a lot of the clients that I have, they're doing made to measure, they're doing bespoke. So I know that looking for a garment factory will be a bit too far-fetched. So that's usually my first go-to. But now I'm trying to basically
have for them to manage.
You don't
know how to manage the crazy Nigerian tailors.
Exactly. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Your designing flow will just die.
It will. Because this is one thing that happens with tailors, or even just the general work ethic in Nigeria. I mean, I feel like even if you have 50 people, there'll be one maybe black sheep out of 50 who still doesn't understand the concept of what you're doing and still goes against the grain. So how do you deal with that one person who's basically trying to, or still not understanding the concept and still stuck in their ways.
Okay, so that never happens, and let me explain why. We never hire anyone that hasn't gone through our training.
Okay.
So you must go through our training. Our training is 3 months. 3 months in class and 3 months placements.
Okay.
So 3 months is enough for us to know that this person is not a fit for us. So if you don't have a minimum of 80% pass mark, you can't work here. So that weeds out
a lot
of all the troublesome people. I want to do it my way. It weeds them out.
Okay.
Also, even those people eventually change. They see that, okay. So there was a time we did an experiment. So we have 3 centers. We use here. We have at the Ebola House. We have at the Nigerian. So those that didn't use said, "Oh, I don't want to do all this production. Just t-shirt. No problem." So we put them in at the Nigerian, and we have those who wanted to stay here. When it was time for their graduation, those who studied here, the difference was too clear. Their collection was commercial, was sellable, was beautiful. They made it fast. While those ones who were solely only teaching, were being taught fashion designing, said, "Oh, I need more time. I haven't finished my capsule collection, blah, blah, blah." And when they even presented, it was nowhere near those two. So they could see that, this method makes more sense. So that's how to learn. But having said that, people will still be people. So we have 0 tolerance for rubbish. That's just like a girl today who was rude. She was rude to her 2 supervisors. We've asked her to go. So character is very key for us here.
What sort of things like lateness, for instance?
Oh, you're penalized.
Is that taking out of your... And let me know if you don't want to answer any of these parts, because are they on wages? So depending on what they saw, on salary?
Salaries, that's tied to a target.
Okay.
Per day. It's tied to attendance. So if you don't come today, your salary will be less. Because we calculate per day. This is your wage per day. Then it's summed up and paid to you at the